While everyone's planning holiday parties and winter vacations, empty shelves and skyrocketing prices are quietly approaching. What if I told you that the next few weeks could be your last chance to prepare before shortages hit hard? In this video, I'm revealing the essential supplies you need to stock up on right now before November arrives. From food shortages caused by livestock diseases to fuel price spikes and building material tariffs, we're covering everything you need to protect your household from the chaos ahead. Stick around until the end because we'll share critical fuel storage tips that most people get dangerously wrong. Welcome to Prep Pantry, where we help you prepare smarter, not harder. If you're serious about protecting your family and your wallet from what's coming, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our life-saving preparation guides. Let's talk about something most people aren't paying attention to yet, but should be: the protein crisis that's brewing right now. Bird flu is spreading across U.S. livestock in states like California, Minnesota, and Michigan. This isn't just a rural problem that affects farmers. It's going to hit your grocery bill and your dinner table harder than you might think. Farmers are being forced to cull entire infected herds, which means the supply chain for meat, eggs, and dairy products is being disrupted as we head into fall and winter. These are the exact months when demand typically increases. When supply drops and demand stays high or increases, prices skyrocket and shelves empty fast. So what's the solution? Start building your protein reserves now with shelf-stable options. Canned meats are your best friend here. Stock up on canned chicken, turkey, tuna, salmon, and beef. These require no refrigeration, have incredibly long shelf lives, and provide quality protein your family needs. Premium brands like Keystone offer excellent quality, but honestly, even store brands are reliable and will get the job done. Here's where it gets critical: powdered eggs and dried milk. If you weren't paying attention during previous bird flu outbreaks, these items became outrageously expensive and nearly impossible to find. We're talking about basic staples that people depend on for cooking and baking, suddenly vanishing from shelves or tripling in price. If the current outbreaks worsen, and experts suggest they will, we're going to see that same pattern repeat itself. Stock up while supplies are available and prices are still reasonable. Don't forget evaporated milk and powdered butter. These might seem like specialty items, but they're incredibly versatile and offer long-term storage options that will save you during shortages. You can use them in cooking, baking, and even your morning coffee if fresh dairy becomes scarce around affordable. Now, let's shift to something that affects every household, especially as we approach the holiday season: baking supplies. There's a perfect storm brewing that's going to drive up the cost of baked goods and the ingredients to make them. We're dealing with tariffs on imported sugar, combined with weather issues in major wheat-growing regions. Add to that the surge in holiday demand, and you've got a recipe for shortages and price spikes. The time to stock up on essential baking supplies is right now, not when you're trying to make Thanksgiving pies or Christmas cookies. Make sure you have plenty of sugar, flour, baking powder, salt, and yeast. These are the foundations of almost every baked good. Don't stop there. Grab cocoa powder, chocolate chips, and baking mixes while you can still find them at reasonable prices. The benefit of stocking up now goes beyond just saving money. It's about reducing stress. Imagine trying to find these items when everyone has the same idea, stores are packed, shelves are empty, and prices have jumped 30 or 40%. By acting now, you insulate yourself from all of that chaos. Let's talk about the cheapest, most efficient calories you can possibly store: white rice, dried beans, and pasta. These are the backbone of any serious food storage plan. Properly stored in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, these staples can last for years. We're talking about feeding your family for pennies per serving, even during the worst shortages or economic conditions. If you want convenience along with long-term storage, consider freeze-dried meal kits and number 10 cans designed specifically for emergency preparedness. Yes, they cost more upfront, but they offer balanced nutrition, easy preparation, and shelf lives measured in decades, not years. Here's something else you need to know about: coffee prices. Arabica futures are rising rapidly, and that increase is going to show up in grocery stores very soon. If coffee is a daily necessity in your household, and for many of us it absolutely is, buy extra now. Calculate how much you use per week, multiply that by 12 to 16 weeks, and stock up accordingly. Future you will thank present you when you're still paying today's prices instead of next month's inflated ones. Moving on to an area most people completely overlook until it's too late: building materials and home repair supplies. Recent tariffs are about to make everything more expensive. We're looking at 10% on lumber imports and 25% on cabinets and some furniture. Even if you think domestic materials won't be affected, you're wrong. Supply chain competition drives all prices up, not just imports. Plywood is absolutely critical, especially if you live in an area vulnerable to storms. You need it for emergency repairs and storm protection. protection. 2x4s and other dimensional lumber are used in almost every home repair and building project imaginable. Trim and molding matter for remodels and finishing work. And here's something vital that people forget: PVC pipe and plumbing fittings. When cold weather hits and pipes burst, you need these supplies immediately. Hardware stores can sell out in hours during weather emergencies. Take the time now to weatherproof your home. Seal leaks around doors and windows using caulk, expanding foam, or weather stripping. These simple, inexpensive steps prevent costly damage and significantly improve your energy efficiency. The money you save on heating bills pays for the materials several times over. Let's talk about emergency repair tools. You need cordless drills, hammers, handsaws, and hatchets. Stock up on roofing nails, tarps, duct tape, and heavy-duty contractor bags. Why does this matter so much? Because during emergencies, stores may be closed, roads may be impassable, or shelves may be stripped bare. Having these tools and supplies at home means you can handle repairs immediately, protecting your property and your family from further damage. If you rely on fuel-based generator, and many households do, ensure it's actually operational. Don't wait until you need it to discover it won't start. Check your fuel, oil, spark plugs, and air filters. Replace anything that looks questionable. Test the generator under load. The middle of a power outage is the worst possible time to discover your generator doesn't work. Now we need to have a serious conversation about fuel. Fuel shortages and price spikes are incredibly common during severe weather and supply disruptions. Planning ahead is the only way to avoid overpaying or finding yourself completely without options. Gasoline prices are currently lower than they were last year. This is your window of opportunity. Regular unleaded gasoline is essential for generators, chainsaws, and vehicles. For small engines like chainsaws, leaf blowers, and some generators, ethanol-free gas is vastly superior because it extends their lifespan and prevents the engine damage that ethanol causes over time. Proper fuel storage is critical, and most people get this wrong. Always add fuel stabilizer if you're storing gasoline for more than a few weeks. Use well-sealed gas cans to prevent moisture intrusion, which will ruin your fuel. Rotate your reserves every few months to maintain freshness. Old gasoline loses its volatility and can damage engines or fail to start them when you need power most. Diesel supplies are expected to remain tight through 2025 due to ongoing refinery maintenance and potential demand spikes during cold weather. If you use diesel-powered equipment, vehicles, or generators, keep a reserve and rotate it regularly using the same principles as gasoline storage. Propane deserves special attention because it's more shelf-stable than gasoline or diesel. You can store propane for years without degradation. It's used for grills, heaters, stoves, lanterns, and some generators. Prices are stable right now, but storms and supply disruptions can change that overnight. Top off your tanks and check all hoses and filters now while you have time and access. Here's a pro tip. Invest in a refill kit for smaller propane appliances. This lets you use lanterns, camp stoves, and portable heaters without relying exclusively on large cylinders. It gives you flexibility and extends your propane supply significantly. Kerosene is less available than it used to be. You'll typically find it only in small jugs at hardware stores. If you use oil lamps, consider alternatives like clean heat or paraffin lamp oil. These produce fewer fumes than kerosene and are safer for indoor use, which matters during extended power outages when you're relying on them for light and potentially some heat. Let's briefly cover other fuel options. Butane and denatured alcohol are inexpensive and easy to store, but here's something critical most people don't know. Butane won't vaporize below 31 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're planning to use butane stoves or heaters during winter power outages, they'll fail you when you need them most. Plan accordingly. Now we're going to discuss something that gets overlooked until it's too late: medical and hygiene supplies. During crises, these are among the first items to disappear from shelves. If you lived through spring 2020, you remember how fast pain relievers, thermometers, and toilet paper vanished. That's going to happen again with the next major disruption. As we head into colder months, respiratory illnesses are going to increase. RSV, flu, and other respiratory diseases spike every fall and winter. That means demand for medications is going to rise dramatically. Stock up now on acetaminophen, ibuprofen, NyQuil and similar combination medications, allergy medications like Benadryl and cetirizine, heartburn medications like famotidine, and children's formulations of all of these if you have kids. If you or anyone in your household relies on prescription medications, refill them as early as your insurance allows. Some people use services that provide emergency supplies of common drugs or antibiotics. While we can't recommend specific medical decisions, having a plan for prescription access during emergencies is critical. First aid supplies are essential, but most first aid kits sold in stores are inadequate. They're filled with a handful of bandages and little else. You need a kit that can actually treat wounds, stop bleeding, and manage minor trauma. Stock up on gauze pads and rolled gauze, medical tape, antiseptics like povidone iodine, nitrile gloves, tourniquets, and hemostatic bandages. Here's something important. Having advanced medical supplies means nothing if you don't know how to use them properly. Invest time in learning basic first aid. Take a course if you can. Watch reputable training videos. Practice with your supplies. The right skills can be just as valuable as the right equipment, and in many cases, more valuable. Sanitation and hygiene might sound basic, but poor sanitation leads directly to infections, rashes, and illnesses that complicate any emergency situation. Make sure you have plenty of toilet paper, soap, hand sanitizer, toothpaste and toothbrushes, trash bags, and sanitizing wipes. These items are cheap and easy to store, but they become priceless when they're unavailable. Consider supplies for makeshift toilets. Camp toilets or bucket toilet kits prepare you for plumbing failures, which are common during winter freezes, earthquakes, floods, and extended power outages. This isn't pleasant to think about, but it's absolutely necessary for maintaining health and dignity during emergencies. Let's tie all of this together with some critical planning principles. During emergencies, stores may be closed or completely inaccessible due to weather, damage, or overwhelmed supply chains. Having essential supplies at home ensures you're not left vulnerable and dependent on systems that might not be functioning. You need to regularly check and rotate your stock of food, fuel, and medications. This keeps everything fresh and usable. Set calendar reminders every 3 to 6 months to check expiration dates, rotate fuel, and replace anything that's degrading. This habit prevents waste and ensures your preparations remain effective. Finally, invest time in developing skills. Learn basic first aid, home repair, and emergency procedures. The knowledge in your head can't be stolen, damaged, or run out. It's always with you. The right skills often matter more than having the perfect supplies, because skills let you improvise, adapt, and solve problems even when resources are limited. The end of the year brings holiday festivities and winter weather, but it also brings challenges that can seriously disrupt daily life. By acting now, stocking up on shelf-stable foods, securing building materials, maintaining fuel reserves, and ensuring medical and hygiene supplies are plentiful, you protect your household from shortages, price hikes, and emergencies. Early preparation is the key to resilience, comfort, and peace of mind in uncertain times. The window for smart preparation is closing fast. Don't wait until you're competing with panic shoppers or paying inflated prices. Start building your reserves today, one category at a time. Which supplies are you prioritizing first? Drop a comment below and let's learn from each other. Remember, preparation isn't about fear, it's about freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom from price gouging, and freedom to take care of your family no matter what comes. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to subscribe to Prep Pantry for more essential preparation guides. Stay prepared, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.